I'm Erin Gerlich, Executive Director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. And joining me once again is Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Brent, your support for youth and education goes beyond the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. What other support does Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
You're right, Erin. Our Girls Union partnership matters. But Farm Bureau supports Iowa's youth in many other ways. They're one of our state's most valuable resources, so we're proud to support them year-round through Iowa Farm Bureau's scholarship program, which provides over $250,000 in scholarships annually to Iowa students around the state. And as you know, we've teamed up with your organization and the Iowa High School Athletic Association to offer free concussion insurance for all boys and girls participating in sanctioned sports. This collaboration ensures Iowa's athletes can practice and compete with an added layer of protection at no cost to them or their families. We've also provided teachers over the last 10 years with over $450,000 in funding to help them purchase classroom supplies through our Teacher Supplement Program. And we continue to sponsor other groups such as 4-H and FFA that teach Iowa's youth about the many ways that agriculture touches their lives.
Thank you, Brent. We're certainly grateful for Farm Bureau's continued investment in Iowa's youth and our organization. Now let's get back to tournament coverage.
Greetings from Hy-Vee Field at the Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge. Day 2 of the 2026 state softball tournament wraps up with the 5th and final 2A game for this Tuesday. It's an elimination game and a rematch of yesterday's 8-seed over 1-seed upset. Cardinal and Grandview Christian. The state tournament is presented by Iowa Farm Bureau alongside Abby Altman. I'm Nick Brinks, and we knew this was a possibility coming in with this format where you could see the same team multiple times. We get to experience a little deja vu here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Deja vu for the teams, not for us. We've not seen these teams yet. We will get very accustomed to them here shortly over the next 90 minutes or so.
Yeah, we were looking into that last game, getting ready for today. Cardinal with a 4-3 victory over Grandview Christian. Cardinal never trailed in that game. We've seen a lot of up and down games with lots of different lead changes. Not in this last game. Cardinal, they were tied 1-1 through the 4th inning, but they never trailed.
And let's take a look at our Sioux Cup stats and our comparison. You look at Cardinal getting that upset yesterday, and you look at the numbers, they pretty much said, forget about the Sioux Cup stats. We're underdogs. We are no match for you statistically. But we came out, we pitched really well, we hit it okay, and we took down the Grandview Christian Thunder. And now, here a day and a half later, they've got to do it again to move on, or they'll be the third 2A team eliminated. We've already lost Hinton and Durant, the 5 and the 2 seeds. One of these teams will be the third elimination here in Class 2A. Those were your Sioux Cup stats. Just a very one-sided affair numbers-wise, but Cardinal showed us yesterday numbers don't mean anything when you've got the heart and you're the underdog. And they said, you know what? Why can't we be Cinderella? Why can't the slipper fit? Can it fit twice, though? That's the question.
Absolutely. And one thing about this new double elimination bracket that's super exciting, we get to see it here firsthand, is these rematches. And the pitchers play such a big role in that. For Cardinal, McLean Higginbottom starting again. Grandview Christian has seen her pitching. They've faced her before. A new pitcher for Grandview Christian, Chloe Cox, started earlier today. She is not starting in the circle for them right now in this game. So we have different matchups. Some we've seen before, some we haven't. So this will be super interesting to see how these rematches play out.
And we'll work through our starting lineups as we get through this first inning. Alexis Bissell will lead things off, the senior center fielder. Summer LaRue, McLean Hickenbottom batting 2 and 3, followed by Sophia Brown, Autumn Surter, Malin Hickenbottom. The first pitch on its way at 7:40. We're only 40 minutes behind as we've been pushed back just a little bit today. Originally scheduled for 7 o'clock. Not quite 7 o'clock right now as Alexis Bissell takes the first pitch and the second pitch in for a strike, and the count evened up. So Bissell, LaRue, Hickenbottom. There's a lot of Hickenbottoms for Cardinal. They've got 3 of them. Sophia Brown, Autumn Surter, and Malin Hickenbottom, 4, 5, 6. Mavrin Hickenbottom, Colby Sainer, and Bristol Albert are the 7, 8, 9 hitters, as the DP is Mavrin Hickenbottom, the 8th grader. She'll bat in place of second baseman freshman Braylee Sparks.
Yeah, if you're watching this game and there is nothing telling you who's up to bat, guess Hickenbottom. You have good odds of being right in that situation.
I could give you a percentage or a fraction. I'll give you a 333 percentage. 333 is what we're going to call it. Your chances of finding a Hickenbottom in the lineup. We've got a swinging strike, count full for Bissell, and Epperly Weitzel is an 8th grader. She gets the start today in the circle. Harper Rosado, a freshman. She is the catcher. Chloe Cox has done most of their pitching this year. She is at first base today. And this pop-up keeps her alive. Foul ball to the left. And we are just underway here as Bissell has a full count. Rest of the infielders, Leighton Beamer, a freshman at second. Sophie Bird, a freshman at third. And Lily Vandersloos, the senior shortstop in the outfield. Maya Murphy, a senior. Morgan Pelham, a senior. Jada Rogers, a freshman. And another foul ball to the left. Take it back now, y'all. Bissell remains in it here with a full count.
The shadows on the field are much longer than they were just half an hour ago in that last game. It is getting darker. The sun is setting. The sun played a big role on this field in the last 2A game, which again ended just a few minutes before these teams took the field. So we should see the sun play less of an impact in this one.
Alexis Bissell fouls a couple away with a full count, is rewarded with the walk, and now we'll see a righty, Summer LaRue. So Bissell went 1 for 4 earlier today as they fell 6-2 to Regina Catholic in the winners bracket. So they have been bounced down into the losers bracket, a chance to move back up. Grandview Christian bounced yesterday by Cardinal. So again, they're facing off for the second time in as many days. Summer LaRue went 1 for 3 with a run, had a double earlier today, had a double yesterday. She was a big part of that win. She got she went 3 for 4 in their 4-3 victory yesterday. Was not one of their runs scored though, but she did a nice job moving base runners around, and that 1-0 pitch becomes a 1-1 count, and a throw to first is not in time. Bissell gets back to the bag.
Cardinal is using the same lineup they used earlier today, the exact same batting order. They've seen what works for them, and they're sticking with it.
Cardinal 1-1 here this week so far, beating Grandview Christian yesterday, falling earlier, and now with a strike on the swing, and it's LaRue with a 1-2 count. We'll give you Grandview Christian's batting lineup when we go to the bottom of the first inning here, as our girls union coverage gets a swinging strike 3 from Summer LaRue, a walk and a strike from Weitzel. Your strikeout. You're watching the 2026 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau as sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to champion our youth and all they have to offer Iowa's future. McLean Hickenbottom, the junior, starting at pitcher. Check swing, strike anyway. One of 3 Hickenbottoms in the starting lineup. They are all sisters, junior, freshman, 8th grader. Batting 3, 6, 7. 0-1 with an out. Runner is at first. In the win yesterday over Grandview Christian, McLean Hickenbottom was a big part of it. She pitched all 7 innings, gave up just 4 hits, a couple earned runs of the 3, struck out 9, walked 1. She had their number yesterday. Their head coach hoping they can do it again with her in the circle, with Hannah Simpson, the head coach for Cardinal, and Krista DeMolinaire for Grandview Christian, former UNI pitcher back in the late 80s. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch on its way from Weitzel. And that 8th grader puts one on the low side for the second ball, along with a strike to Hickenbottom.
Yeah, McLean Hickenbottom, she's batting .383 this season. Again, one of their most used pitchers. This is something we've seen so much of, especially here in 2A. is those high batting averages and really consistent batters have so often belonged to some of those star pitchers.
Hickenbottom gets on with the 3-1 ball, and ball 4 puts runners at first and second, both on walks. Bissell to second, Hickenbottom at first. Sophia Brown, the sophomore third baseman, batting here in the 4 slot. She went 1 for 3 with a couple RBIs on a double earlier today in that 6-2 loss to Regina Catholic of Iowa City. With 1 out, the pitch from Weitzel, straight down Broadway, and Brown takes that one for a strike. Cardinal comes in, really had the opportunity to be a Cinderella story. You look at their conference record and everything, they were 5th in their conference standings this year. The South Central Conference below 500, but come postseason time, they kept racking up the wins, and here they are, a chance to battle back for a state title, knocking off I-35. They were one of the top 5 teams in Class 2A. They knocked them off in the regional final, also knocked off Pleasantville, a couple close victories back on July 13th and the 11th. And here at the state tournament, 1-1, already having knocked off Grandview Christian once. And it's a 1-2 count for Sophia Brown, 2 on, 1 out, and she swings away. Second strikeout, 2 walks as well from Weitzel. 2 away now for the Cardinal Comets.
And you're talking about that Cinderella story. They still have the potential to. This is also their first trip to the state tournament since 2005. I was 1 year old the last time Cardinal made the state tournament. Now I'm calling it. So this has been a long time coming for them, and they are here to make the best of it.
Ground ball off to left field, and they don't want to stop at third to load the bases. They want to come home, but they will do it. They will say they beat the tag. Close call at home, but Autumn Surter's RBI single gets an extra bag as Bissell runs home, and we've got runners at second and third now. Hickenbottom to third. Surter gets to second with her single. As Bissell was at second, and she had no thoughts of stopping at third. It was close coming home, but they called her safe.
Yeah, the interesting decision there to stay upright, not sliding into that one. Harper Rosado, she had the ball early. She held it low. She was ready for the tag coming in as the slide, and I don't know if the runner saw that and decided to stay high and get around it, but that was a very interesting decision to not slide into it, and lucky with that call.
Malin Hickenbottom, the freshman left fielder. First time I have seen a high school softball uniform with a 99 on it. You don't see that very often. But here comes Malin Hickenbottom. Double nines, the 1-1. Across for a strike. We saw double nines in the last game. It was 9-9 late between Ridgeview and Wapsie Valley. Wapsie Valley moved on to tomorrow's semifinal with an 11-9 win. And now we see Jersey 99 for Malin Hickenbottom. She went 0 for 3 earlier today. High pitch, swings away, drives one in. If it's not in time, but the throw is in time, and that 4-3 ground out will end the inning. But Cardinal gets one home. Alexis Bissell with a leadoff walk, driven home by Autumn Surter. Aggressive on the bases. I'd say 75% of the time that just loads the bases, but you're the 8th seed. You finished 5th in your conference. You're here to win. You're not here to lose. So they've got a 1-0 lead. It panned out for them. Now we'll see what Grandview Christian can do. 1-0, bottom of the first. Here we go on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
I keep getting Taco Bell notifications. This is not good.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Grandview Christian Thunder 28-4. They came in as the number 2 ranked team in Class 2A into regional play. Number 1 Riverside got bounced out, so Grandview Christian gets the 1 seed as Riverside comes up a game short of the state tournament. They lost yesterday to Cardinal. Cardinal has a 1-0 lead. Pop up over toward second base. It'll dribble right past. And on to first for Livy Vandersloot. She just put that one where nobody could get to it. Not even Braley Sparks. And a base hit to lead things off for Grandview Christian.
Yeah, that is a hard one to get to. You saw the attempt at the backhand didn't quite work out. Would have been very hard to make that play at first, whether or not she made the backhand grab. Just a beautifully placed ball.
Your batting order for Grandview Christian: Livy Vandersloot, Maya Murphy batting now, Sophie Bird next, followed by Chloe Cox, Harper Rosado, Grace Cruz, and then Leighton Beamer, Morgan Pelham, Jada Rogers. Pitch across the plate, evens the count 1-1 for Maya Murphy. We see a 99 jersey for Cardinal. We see the 00 for Murphy and the Thunder.
Got to make sure the roster numbers are balanced out. We can't be having too high of numbers on one side.
Let's average it out. We're going to call it 44.5. Pickoff attempt sliding in at second. Rolls all the way to center field. Livy Vandersloot with 37 steals on the season now. And Murphy will get ready for the 1-2 pitch. Murphy went 0 for 3 with a run scored this morning when they beat Hinton 7-4 to eliminate the Blackhawks. Get back into things. They're 1-1 here at the state tournament. Line shot, but nobody home at second to get the double play chance. Murphy lines out to Summer LaRue as that one zipped right to short.
Yeah, when you're going for that double play, that's really the question of who has faster instincts, who is able to get back to the bag first, the runner on second or the second baseman, and in this case, it was the runner on second.
Livy Vandersloot was quick to get back there. Pickoff attempt down to third, but it gets over the head of Summer LaRue, and the run to tie things up comes home. Livy Vandersloot ties this ball game at 1 apiece. It was 1-1 after one yesterday in that 4-3 win for Cardinal, and it's enough deja vu to see these two teams playing for the second time in 2 days. And now we've got the 1-1 ball game for the second time as well, but Grandview Christian with 1 out. They're hoping to not stop there here in the first.
That was such a great demonstration of base running from Harper Rosado in those last few plays, getting back to second, avoiding that double play. That changes the game up so much, and then she was aggressive going to both third and home. Close plays on either one of those with the ball secure. So very aggressive, and it paid off.
And she took advantage of the error. Here's a pop-up towards second, but just in front of Braley Sparks. She wasn't able to get to it. Bird has been a double machine here at the state tournament, singling here. Had a double and a home run earlier today. She picks up the single here. As that one just kind of blooped right in front of the second baseman, Braley Sparks. Runner on at first. 1 out for Grandview Christian. The Thunder and the Comets squaring off. Winner moves on to tomorrow. Still alive. Loser is eliminated as the third 2A team to go down and be eliminated today. Chloe Cox takes a strike. And she'll bat here as a .480 hitter this year. She's got 5 home runs, 48 hits on the season, and she's got a lot of home runs. Won't come up here. Hits one off the fence, though, and that'll put runners on the corners. They want more. It'll be a double. And Cox drives one home. Bird scores from first.
If Grandview Christian ends up taking this game, the reason, as of now, will without a doubt be their aggressive base running. they're being safe with it. They're not making decisions that I am going, ooh, I wouldn't do that. But they are being aggressive. They're being risky. And now with a lead, this is working for them.
Grandview Christian as a team, they have hit 28 home runs this season. They've added at least one earlier today since making it to Fort Dodge this week. And now you get to Harper Rosado, the freshman. She's got 10 on the season. Doubled earlier today. And she'll take this 0-1 pitch outside. A .471 hitter, 48 hits, those 10 home runs, 12 doubles and a triple, and she's the 5 slot. She's the 5 hitter.
Yeah, it goes so much to say when you're able to piece those power hitters, those really consistent pieces for you throughout the lineup, it just strengthens the whole thing and gives you great opportunities to win throughout the game.
Batters 2 through 6 all have homers this year. Grounder to short, and Harper Rosado will be thrown out on that ground out for out number 2. Chloe Cox gets to second after she stays put there. And it's now Grace Cruz, the senior DP. She homered earlier today, so she came into the state tournament with no home runs, has picked one up here at Hy-Vee Field today as she put that one over the wall against Hinton. They topped them 7-4 game 1 of this second day on this Hy-Vee Field, and she's like, all right, I've got one, let's get 2. They've got one on and a 2-1 lead here against Cardinal, and she'll foul one into the fence behind home plate. The senior batter, .352 this season, does have 7 doubles as well. So it's just interesting looking at lineups and looking at the numbers, and you can kind of see what the coach is thinking with where they're placing players. But with Grandview Christian, you've got some powerful hitters spread throughout trying to take advantage strategically, and that's a no-doubter. Off and into the ditch over the left field fence. She came to state with no home runs. She's got 2 today.
You know, I was wondering whether or not maybe her arms would be too tired after that bomb in her first game, but definitely not, because that was a no-doubter. Like you said, they are taking advantage of all of the base running opportunities that they've been given and that they've taken, and it is a beautiful start for Grandview Christian.
That'll bring us to Leighton Beamer, the freshman second baseman, and you just have to wonder, your Cardinal yesterday as the 8 seed over the 1 seed, you get a very close victory. Grandview Christian bounces back this morning, and now they get the chance at the redo, and they have put 4 on the board here in the first inning. You can tell they're playing with just a little extra oomph in this one. Beamer, the freshman, no home runs this year. That hasn't stopped Grace Cruz today with her first couple of the season. That's fouled away over to the bleachers on the 5A field to our west. McLean Hickenbottom has given up 4 hits in this opening inning. There's been 1 fielding error, and Beamer, as a .282 hitter, will send this one toward the logo in center field, and she's got a base hit.
That has been such a great trend that we've seen on this field today, is those bloopers that are working so well in the offense's favor, whether or not they're using the wind, the sun, or just placing them in beautiful spots that are so hard to get to.
On that 2-run homer for Grace Cruz, it also scored Chloe Cox. And now this is Morgan Pelham, the senior center fielder, facing Hickenbottom. And she'll send this one toward the foul line in first base territory. Our head coaches again for this one, Hannah Simpson for Cardinal and Krista DeMolinaire for Grandview Christian. Pelham, the 8-hitter. They've gotten through 7 already. There are 2 outs. Cardinal trying to get out of here without any more damage done. Runner at first for Pelham, hitting .412 this year, and she'll swing away. She's got a couple homers and 12 doubles, and she's the 8-hitter. Some teams, you stack some 150, 200, 220 hitters at the bottom. No, they've got a .412 here for Grandview Christian in the 8. Here's the 0-2 from Hickenbottom, fouled away, stays alive for the 0-2.
And when you've got a runner on first base, you're at the bottom of the lineup. You need someone that can continue to bring people across, and that's exactly why. I mean, Grandview Christian has a few extra power hitters they can spread out. but putting someone who can consistently hit in the bottom of the lineup allows things like this to happen. You continue to get people across the base until you're back at the top of the lineup.
Morgan Pelham with another blooper just in front of the Girls Union logo in center field. Single for Pelham and Beamer. They are first and second on the base paths, as that brings us to Jada Rogers, the freshman right fielder. 4-1, Grandview Christian with McLean Hickenbottom firing it away for a ball. 6 hits already. There's been 1 error, and they've got 2 on right now with that 4-1 lead for Grandview Christian. Bottom of the order, a 357 hitter. She'll dribble this one to shortstop, playable at first, and beating by a step is the catch by Colby Sainer at first. That'll do it for a very fruitful first inning for the Grandview Christian Thunder. They lead this one 4-1. Second inning is next. Can Cardinal bounce back? We're back in a moment on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
One inning down when these two teams played yesterday. It was a tie ball game after 1 inning, 1 apiece. Today, a 4-1 lead for Grandview Christian. They fell in that 8-1 opener, 4-3. And now they're looking to get some revenge on the Comets, leading by 3. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Cardinal Comets, 17-11 on the year. Grandview Christian, 28-4. And we'll see Maverick Hickenbottom, the 8th grader, one of 3 Hickenbottoms on the roster, all sisters. The DP bats here went 1 for 2 earlier today when they fell to Regina 6-2 to fall into the losers' half of the bracket. And now they're facing elimination here. Both teams trying to stave off elimination and get to Wednesday. Winner will face Iowa City Regina at 12:15. And the loser goes home 1-2 at the 2026 state tournament, powered by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Yeah, you saw there Maverick Higginbottom batting .323. You mentioned earlier, that's very close odds to if you pick someone out of the lineup and it being a Higginbottom. So very frequently this team is getting hits, getting on base, and being productive offensively.
She came to state with a .323 hitting percentage. Went 1 for 3 yesterday, 1 for 2 today. Her average is actually exactly .333 now, which is the same average for a Hickenbottom in the lineup. And she'll take this one, foul it away, 1-1 the count. Colby Sainer and Bristol Albert, senior, junior, the 8-9 hitters behind her. A walk and a single against Regina earlier today. That one was a 2-2 tie until late. And now she pops this one over to the third baseman, Sophie Bird. And that one drops into the glove for out number 1. The leadoff hitter goes down, flying out to Bird.
Yeah, Grandview Christian, 4 runs already in just 1 inning, outscoring themselves from their last game against Cardinal. This is a great example of what these rematches can do. They're not going to be the same game that they play the first time. They might be similar, but in this case, clearly not.
This is the 3rd matchup between these two teams, and it's always come in postseason play. Back in 2024, Cardinal picked up a 3-0 win in regionals. This is Grandview Christian's first ever state appearance in softball, And you mentioned earlier for Cardinal, their first appearance since 2005. They were the champions the year before that. I won't ask you how old you were in 2004 when you said how old you were in 2005. 0-2, your count for Colby Sainer, senior first baseman, with one out and nobody on. And that changeup, oh, that was nasty. That one crosses to Sainer and a strikeout for Epperly Weitzel.
You can just see as that call is made, the shoulders drop. She knows that that was a good pitch. That's hard to admit, that you've been stumped by a really beautiful pitch for a looking strikeout.
That brings us to Bristol Albert, junior right fielder. Number 9 in the 9 slot. And she swings for a strike. Down with 2 outs, trailing by 3 here in the top of the second inning. We're live at Hy-Vee Field tonight from Fort Dodge on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Our final elimination game for the second day of the state tournament. Durant and Hinton have already gone down. Durant came in as the 2, Hinton the 5. 1 ball, 1 strike for Albert. 1 for 3 earlier today as they fell to Regina. Regina will await the winner of this one. Cardinals already played them once. Regina disposed of them. Grandview Christian now and Cardinal facing off for the second time today. Grandview Christian and Regina have not battled yet. And the 2-1 rolls through. Count should be, well, maybe it is still 2-1. 2 outs. Nope, 3-1 for Albert. Here in the top of the second, down by 3. She'll foul it off, stay alive as it pushes the count to 3-2.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how the remainder of the consolation bracket plays out, who escaping, how many rematches there will be. Me personally, at least, that is what is most exciting to me about this double elimination system, is the rematches and the opportunity for change and growth in each game.
Payoff pitch fouled away by Albert. Here in the top half of the bracket, it works out for this game. Whoever wins this game would have to win twice tomorrow. In the bottom half of the bracket, Ridgeview, the candidate there, they would have to play and win 3 games tomorrow. Loma as well. And that would be just such a tall task to win 3 straight games on the same day to get to a state championship later this week. So I definitely think as the one seed, the top half has it a little easier spreading those 4 games over 2 days instead of all on Wednesday. Those 3 games.
Yeah, it's definitely very hard to get back into it once you've reached the consolation. We've seen so many teams fighting to avoid elimination because they know how much harder that path is despite it being possible.
Bristol Albert walked. Alexis Bissell also walked. She's up to bat for the second time today. She's got their lone run. And she'll take a strike for an 0-2 count. 2 outs, 1 on. Albert at first. Cardinal Comets and Grandview Christian Thunder in a rematch from yesterday's 8-1 upset. Cardinal took down Grandview Christian 4-3, but the Thunder in control now as that one pops away from Harper Rosado behind home plate, but Albert stays put at first. Bissell with a 1-2 count, batting .341 for the year. She's got 1 home run on the year. Cardinal as a team, they've got 6. And the pitch hit right over the head toward the umpire at second, and that'll be the second hit of the day for the Cardinal Comets, at least here at night. Here in this elimination game, single for Bissell, Albert to second, and Summer LaRue is up, the senior shortstop with a strikeout last inning.
The contact on that ball was beautiful contact. We heard the snap of the bat up here. Not sure if you can hear it on the broadcast, but it's your classic bat hits ball sound. And the placement of it, the timing of that swing, sending it right up the middle was just stunning and perfect textbook.
Epperly Weitzel, the 8th grader, got to pitch a couple innings earlier today in that 7-4 win, going 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, struck out 3. She gets the start in this one. And she faces Summer LaRue. Pitch on the low side. Runners at first and second. 2 balls, no strikes. ERA right around 2.6 for the year in 69-plus innings pitched. 47 hits allowed, 41 runs, 26 earned, 97 strikeouts to 52 walks. Has hit 6 batters this year. And she has walked and struck out 3 today apiece. And she'll get this one grounded back over to short. Force out at third for the final out of the day. As Albert slides into third but can't beat it. And LaRue's ground out gets us through the top of the second. No runs across. They do get 1 hit, and we'll leave a couple on. We go to the bottom of the second. Grandview Christian leading by 3, batting next on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Whether you volunteer or hang with friends, play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
Back at Hy-Vee Field for our 5th and final 2A game for this second day of the state tournament, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Thanks for joining us on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. From the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex, I'm Nick Brinks with Abby Altman. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and it's Livy Vandersloot, a single, a couple steals, and a run scored for her last inning. And we see our first pitch. In for a ball from McLean Hickenbottom. A rough first inning, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs.
Yeah, Cardinal in the first inning with an early lead. Grandview Christian came back and built on that heavily. Cardinal was not able to do it again in the top of the second. They really need to think about if they can get 1 run an inning, just 1, they're able to slowly get closer to the Grandview Christian's 4. But Grandview Christian here is going to try and do the same.
With the 1-1 count, the pitch sent to the logo in center field. Vandersloot will fly out to Alexis Bissell for the first out, and that'll bring us to Maya Murphy, the senior left fielder. And you look at McLean Hickenbottom, she pitched 7 innings yesterday, 6 innings this morning, struggling to start here with those 6 hits allowed in the first, but they don't have much behind her, as Malin Hickenbottom, one of the Hickenbottom sisters, and Sophia Brown, they have combined for around 22 innings pitched this year. So it's really been the McLean show all season, and this is probably what coaches worry about when you get to this new format, having to play multiple games with a lot on the line in one day. Get some tired arms, and if you're not a very deep pitching team, you could run into trouble, and that's kind of been the story for Cardinal, although she gets a swinging strike for the out here against Murphy.
Absolutely, yeah. The last game here on this field for 2A, Wapsie Valley came out with the win, and I contribute a good amount of that to their pitching depth. It was a high-scoring game, over 30 hits, and I think that they just had 1 pitcher more than Ridgeview did, which allowed them to get the win. I'm no mathematician, but if you look at Cardinals' pitching rotation, there's about a 66% chance you're going to find a Hickenbottom.
That's right. Hickenbottom came in with 158 innings pitched. Malin's done 17 2/3, and then Sophia Brown 4 2/3. So player-wise, 2 out of 3 Hickenbottoms. Innings-wise, it's probably close to 80 to 85% of the innings. Quick math. I hope no one checks me on that. But 3-0 the count here, as she got Maya Murphy to swing and strike out. So maybe that's enough to get the arms refreshed and energized with a strikeout. She tosses in a strike here on the 3-0.
Absolutely. The sun is setting here. The field is almost completely shade. There is a sliver of sun just up the middle, but this is a different setting than the games they played earlier today. There's no sun. It's cool. This is a very, very different game and different style of play that you're going to see.
And just think about playing yesterday morning. I know it wasn't as hot as it got later in the day, but even at roughly 10 or so in the morning or whenever they played, it was already pushing 85, 90 with heat index values in the 90s. Now we're looking at temps in the mid-70s, a nice cool north breeze. They get the walk with 2 outs. Just a completely different atmosphere, and you've also got Grandview Christian playing with a chip on their shoulder, playing against an 8 seed that knocked them out earlier in the tournament, a chance to get some revenge, and so far they've got the upper hand with Chloe Cox batting now, doubling in the first and scoring, also driving one home. So it's McLean Hickenbottom in the circle with the 0-1 on the low side. And the count evens up 1-1. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. It's been a busy weekend preparing for all of these diamonds going at once. And then we get to Monday, and we get to Tuesday, 4 games yesterday, 5 today. Just all of the preparation that goes into this. Normally they've been doing 2 fields. You got to double your equipment to get to 4, and then you got to get 1 more out there. So the folks at CISN that put this all together over the weekend and beyond, just to prepare for what's shaping up to be a really, really fun week. I don't envy them. We have the easy jobs. We just got to come out here and talk and hopefully not sound like fools too often. But they got this all ready to go, and here we are, bottom of the second. That's out towards center field, toward the Hy-Vee Field logo over the head. And a chance to bring one in, which they will do. Chloe Cox gets the double. Second RBI double for her today. And she brings home Sophie Bird all the way from first. 5-1 your lead for Grandview Christian, and we've got another Channel Seeds extra base hit. Learn more at channel.com/rise. A couple for the Thunder, both by Chloe Cox. And it brings us to Harper Rosado, the team's leading home run hitter.
Yeah, that ball in center field took an interesting hop after it hit the ground. That could be part of the reason they were able to get a run across center field, having to go after that ball, chasing it before it gets in. There was no play at the plate, but there definitely could have been a little bit of a contested play.
And now this is interesting as Hannah Simpson, the head coach for Cardinal, along with an assistant and an umpire, and Alexis Bissell, are all standing out in center field. You mentioned the divot or whatever, and you just wonder if maybe they found a spot in the field that they want to bring attention to, or what this conversation's about. But the umpire and the coach hook 'em horns, something like that. He gives the signal to play on. 5-1 Grandview Christian. Good start for them here in the bottom of the second, leading by 4. So I'm not quite sure what that conversation was about. I didn't see them really looking at the ground or anything. But that's kind of interesting to have a conference in center field with coach and an umpire.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a chance it was looking at whether that bounce was off of her foot or off of a body part, just checking out, making sure everything's okay, and it appears to be, so that's a good sign.
So maybe just checking on Bissell to make sure she's good to go, and she's out there ready to field one if it comes her way. Harper Rosado pops this one toward the fence, right field, just in front of it. She wants 3, but she tripped over second base. She would have easily gotten there, I think. But she'll pick up a double and drive one home as Chloe Cox RBI double, backed up by Harper Rosado's RBI double. And they've scored a couple here in the inning. 6-1 Grandview Christian. Rosado so close to getting her second triple of the season, but it'll have to go down as her 13th double. Another Channel Seeds extra base hit, and they'll bring in a courtesy runner for her.
Yeah, we saw her laughing that one off at second. I think every softball player has had an experience like that one. They wish they could have reached, but it was very heads up of her to realize, once I get up, I'm not making it to third. So her heads up and awareness to get back to second before they're able to figure out the play was very good base running.
Just kind of stumbled over second base. When I was in high school, I was in PE, and one time between home plate and second base, I tripped twice, and it was just in the dirt. Grounder to second. To wrap up the inning, Grace Cruz grounds out over to Braley Sparks. Colby Sainer makes the play at first, and we are through 2 innings. Grandview Christian looking for revenge on Cardinal for that upset yesterday. 6-1 Thunder, 3rd inning next on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
We go to the top of the 3rd inning. It is 6-1. Grandview Christian, by my count, 8 hits. Cardinal with a couple and an error. 6-1 your score. Thunder on top of the Comets as we go to the top of this 3rd and find McLean Hickenbottom, Sophia Brown, and Autumn Surter ready to go. They all combined to go 1 for 2 in that 1st inning. McLean Hickenbottom with a walk, Brown a strikeout, Surter with an RBI single to put that lone Cardinal run on the board in the top of the 1st. Hickenbottom fouls this one away, and it's an even 1-1.
The story of this game so far, Grandview Christian has really capitalized on the base runners they've been able to get. They've brought them across the plate through different things, base running, big hits, small hits. It's all been working. Cardinal, on the other hand, hasn't scored since the top of the 1st.
And McLean Hickenbottom will hope to change that, as pretty much their only pitcher outside of about 20 innings all season. She's been busy yesterday and this morning, or I guess it was early afternoon, and again this evening in the circle, and now getting her chance at as a batter for the 2nd time. .338 hitter. She's got a pair of home runs this year, 7 doubles. As she takes one on the inside, count is 3-1. She's got a lead, hoping to get on perhaps with her 2nd walk of the day in this one. Cardinal fell to Regina Catholic earlier this afternoon, 6-2, to fall into the losers bracket. Iowa City Regina on to the semifinal, and they'll either win one and move on to the state championship game as we get a walk here to Hickenbottom, or whoever comes out of this one can win twice tomorrow against Regina. But they've got the edge. They need 1 win. Whoever wins this game needs 2 wins. As the Regina, they just haven't used that mulligan yet.
This double elimination bracket, a little tricky to follow if you're not looking at it for about 5 minutes at least.
Wild pitch gets away, runner to second, and they've got one in scoring position. Hickenbottom gets there. Sophia Brown, you look at the bracket and visually the 8-4-2-1, it's just a nice clean look. The double elimination bracket, I think the official word, it does look a little wonky, but that's it provides a lot of excitement, a lot of fun, and we got to see that upset yesterday and then the chance at revenge today. That wouldn't have happened any other year. And Sophia Brown, with a strikeout earlier, has a 1-1 count and one on at second. No outs for the Cardinal Comets. Facing off against the Grandview Christian Thunder, Epperly Weitzel, a couple hits allowed. The 1 run in the first, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. 2 for McLean Hickenbottom. She's at second now. And Sophia Brown will take the 2-1. This one's upstairs, count 3-1. Weitzel about a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio this year, 97-53 including today. Couple innings earlier and a couple innings in this one. Line shot out towards center field, back toward Pelham, who makes the nice snag right next to Maya Murphy. From center field, coming all the way over to left to make that play. Pelham hauls it in for the out.
Yeah, didn't even have time to set up under that ball, reaching out one-handed. A beautiful grab. Again, she's making these plays look routine, and it's really impressive because they are not.
Autumn Surter, the catcher, with an RBI single in the first inning. She bats here, and she takes strike 1 looking. 286 batter this year. She's got one of Cardinal's 6 home runs on the season, a pair of doubles as well. 22 hits, 12 runs, 12 RBIs. As Surter takes the 0-1, fouls it away. Trailing 6-1 in this elimination game. You lose today, and your state tournament comes to an end on Tuesday night with a 1-2 record this week. The Cardinal making their first appearance in the state tournament since 05 as the 04 champion the year before. Pitch outside to Surter, and the count is 1-2.
This right here is a big moment for Cardinal. It's still early on in the game, but they have a runner in scoring position. They have only 1 out. If they're able to capitalize here, they are absolutely still in this game. We saw a 5-run deficit erased in the game before by Ridgeview. They did end up losing despite coming back several times from large deficits. We've seen it done before, and this is a great time to start capitalizing.
Chases a little bit. Surter strikes out. That'll be the 4th strikeout from Weitzel. All of them swinging strike 3s, and Malin Hickenbottom, the freshman left fielder, grounded out to second in the first inning. With her sister at second, she'll see what she can do and maybe rack up RBI number 11 for the season, drive home her sister, and make big sister proud. Off the roof of the first base dugout, Hickenbottom fouls one away. Bottom of the order has combined to go 0 for 3 with a ground out, a fly out, a strikeout, and a walk. The 2 hits have come from the 1 and the 5 slot, Bissell and Surter. Surter the RBI, Bissell the run, and the pitch to the inside corner. That'll just miss. 1-1 the count. Top of the 3rd inning, 6-1 deficit for the Cardinal Comets. Thanks for joining us on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. The 1-1 from Weitzel on the way. The 8th grader in the circle puts that one well outside. And the 2-1 count for Malin Hickenbottom.
The goal right now is just discipline in the box. If you can get on base with a walk, with a single, with anything like that, getting on base and keeping this inning going while you have runners in scoring position is so important.
Chops one fouled off to third by Sophie Bird. And Hickenbottom will come back, get ready for the 2-2. Grandview Christian knocked Hinton out of the tournament earlier today with a 7-4 win this morning. Blackhawks were the team to go 0-2 here at the state tournament. Comets hoping to avoid finishing up 1-2. Beating Grandview Christian and falling to Iowa City Regina in the last 2 days and getting Grandview Christian again. Now a chat in the circle between Rosado and Weitzel. With that runner at second, McLean Hickenbottom, Malin Hickenbottom batting.
Yeah, it is a very tall ask to ask the 8 seed to go into this state tournament for the first time in 21 years and beat the 1 seed. It's a much taller task to ask them to do it again the next day.
I was going to say, if you're Cardinal, something like that That's a feat that you just kind of wish happened before they implemented this format. Ground ball off toward left field, and they had the chance to get that runner out at home, but they chose not to. With the error, they're going to get an inside the park home run.
A very interesting decision by the Grandview Christian catcher. Looking at it from up here, I think she had the tag at home fairly easily. The decision to not go for the tag and instead go for the out at second, allowing both runs to come in. Definitely something she's looking back on, wishing she maybe made a different decision. Ultimately, Grandview Christian still has a heavy lead in this game, so it is not a devastating play, but it's an interesting choice.
So it scores McLean Hickenbottom from second. I'm just trying to wrap my head around what we just saw and how I score that, because Malin, she put that one into play. I think we give her probably just a single, would you think?
Yeah.
I don't think it was quite a fielder's choice. I think we give her the single, and then I know there was an error out there, at least one. You could almost say there were two errors. They could have tagged the runner out, then they try to go back out for second. That was just not the cleanest fielding you'll see, but their lead is still 3 for Grandview Christian. But Cardinal with a couple of runs, and Malin Hickenbottom, she just never stopped. She got the single, came all the way around as that ball rolled all the way from home plate back out to that logo in center field. I will be really curious to look at the book after the game, the official scoring, how that all shook out.
Yeah, looking at that, you have to imagine she was thinking maybe one step ahead of the play, assumed she had already touched the plate or was going to, and thought, there's an out I can get at second base. Unfortunately, in softball, thinking one step ahead doesn't always work out. You have to be present in the current play, and that's just not what happened there.
So both Hickenbottom scored, McLean and Malin. And now we see another Hickenbottom, Mavrin, the 8th grader, trying to follow up what her sisters just did. And she'll chop this one right back to the pitcher. Weitzel gets the easy throw there. Chloe Cox reels it in, and the 1-3 putout ends the inning. But Cardinal will come up with a couple runs on an unconventional play, and we are through the top of the third. 6-3. Grandview Christian leading with a 3-run lead. Back after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
We are back. We go to the bottom of the third inning. 2 runs across for Cardinal. I'm still trying to wrap my head around Malin's hit. I'll give her the RBI single because she brought McLean Hickenbottom with a couple outs from second home. I think they had a chance to tag her out, but they didn't go for it. Then they throw it back to second to try to prevent Malin from getting all the way to 2. There was an error there. The throw was off to center field, and then that allowed Malin Hickenbottom to come around and score. So I gave it a hit and an error. They score both runs. I'm going to call them both unearned by default, and we'll see how that shakes out when we go to the end of this one. But bottom of the third now, and now Grandview's offense that will have to step up here and try to wipe that one away from the memory bank, because I think they'll go back and watch film and maybe talk about that one before their next game, which they hope those 2 runs don't impact their chance to move on to tomorrow.
And you have to give props to Cardinal for being aware of the situation, taking advantage of the errors and of the base runners that they obtained, and scoring 2 runs with 1 runner on base.
Leighton Beamer singled in the first. They got through all 9 hitters in that first inning, scoring 4 runs.
And of the base runners that they obtained, and scoring 2 runs with 1 runner on base.
Leighton Beamer singled in the first. They got through all 9 hitters in that first inning, scoring 4 runs. And here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Cardinal 17-11 on the year. Grandview Christian 28-4. And showing bunt pickoff down to 3rd, and will slide in. I think that one popped out of the glove. As we are back up and running here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Yeah, that ball was very close to being there in time, but I think, yeah, definitely just popped out of the glove, got knocked out a little bit. Very nice throw by the catcher to get the potential out.
So if you may have missed some things here, Jada Rogers gets the double with 2 outs. No runs across in the inning. She just stole her way to 3rd. And this is the lefty, Livy Vandersloos. 4 for 4 earlier today, an RBI and a run scored in that 7-4 win over Hinton. 1 for 2 today with a run, 2 steals, and batting here in the bottom of the 3rd inning with her Grandview Christian Thunder playing at the state tournament for the first time in softball. Pitch from Hickenbottom, fly ball left field, foul territory. Beeline from Malin Hickenbottom in left field. The freshman will come up well short of reeling that one in, as Vandersloos will come back for the 2-1 and a couple outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Grandview Christian already has racked up 9 hits from 8 different batters by my count, and this will be Vandersloos once again taking the 2-1 from Hickenbottom. Knocks it foul over the umpire's head behind home plate. She's a .495 hitter this year with 53 hits, 46 runs, 12 RBIs. No home runs, though, in the leadoff spot. So they've got someone at the top, not necessarily a power hitter, but she gets on a lot. On base 57% of the time. She'll take the 2-2. It's a looking strike 3. Hickenbottom strikes out her 2nd batter in the game, and that will preserve a scoreless 3rd inning for the Grandview Christian offense. Cardinal scores 2 in the top half. 6-3. Grandview Christian through 3. We're back with the 4th inning next on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/wecare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
It's the 3rd elimination game in Class 2A today. Grandview Christian and Cardinal facing off for the 2nd time in less than 28 or so hours. 30, 32. I cut that a little short. That was yesterday morning they started. But Cardinal got the win, and it looks like we may have a new – nope, never mind. I thought we had a new pitcher in there, but the ponytail of Epperly Weitzel was covering the 1, so I thought 7 was out there. No, but still 17. It was just hiding. But we go to the 4th. 6-3. Cardinal with a run in the 1st inning, 2 in the 3rd. Grandview Christian with 4 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd. And now we go to the 4th. And it's still a ball game. Top seeded Grandview Christian and the 8 seed Cardinal, the Comets, trying to play spoiler for the second time in 2 days. They with some work to do, though.
Yeah, that is a tall order, taking down the 1 seed twice in 2 days. But with high school softball, anything can happen, and we've already seen that in this team, these two teams' first matchup.
Cardinal's been kind of playing spoiler throughout the postseason, knocking off I-35, a top 5 team in 2A to get to the state tournament, knocking off Grandview Christian yesterday. And I would love to see what the ESPN analytics winning odds would be of saying Cardinal gets the win yesterday, 8-1, comes back today, trails 6-1, and the chance to come back and for all of that to happen and get 2 wins over Grandview Christian. I would have to assume very small percentage, but here are the Cardinal Comets with the chance, down by 3 in the top of the 4th, and a foul away from Colby Sainer after a strikeout in the second. Grandview Christian and Cardinal battling here at Hy-Vee Field. It's an elimination game for these teams. Winner moves on to face Iowa City Regina tomorrow at 12:15, and that would set up one of our semifinal matchups. Either Iowa City Regina wins it in one game, or whoever wins this game has to go in and knock off Regina twice. That's how the bracket will pan out tomorrow. A 3-run deficit, 8-9-1 hitters, Sainer, Albert, Bissell. This one gets away upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Epperly Weitzel. Pitching well today, 4 strikeouts. He's walked 4, given up 3 hits, but just a couple earned runs allowed. Cardinal in white tops and bottoms, black tops, white bottoms for the Thunder. And that pitch blooped to third, foul territory. Bird hauls it in. And that fly out is out number 1.
Yeah, a good read on that ball. The sun is setting. The lights are on, but this field is dark. It's not super bright. Luckily, the ball is neon yellow. Definitely makes it a little bit easier to see those balls high up in the air. But a good read to that one, just getting under it and making the play.
First out now, Bristol Albert. She walked in the second inning and was grounded into a force out at third for the final out of that second inning. She bats for the second time. Went 1 for 3 earlier today in that 6-2 loss to Regina Catholic. And you think about Cardinal, that game was 2-2 late. And then Regina had a 4-run inning, went on to win that one, that 6-2 final score. But beating Grandview Christian and then with Iowa City Regina today, they had them late in that game, anybody's contest to win. They were that close from moving on to tomorrow without needing to play this second game today.
Yeah, Cardinal has not been out of any game. They have not had any really long shot wins so far until very late in that last game, like you said. They've been able to hold their own, and they're doing it now. They do have a 3-run deficit, but I mentioned before, we've seen so many teams come out of that, and they've scored 3 today. What's to say they can't score 3 more?
And here is a walk to the bottom of the order. Bristol Albert, she'll be on for the second time. A couple walks for her today. Just 4 walks for her this season, 2 of them coming in this contest. And Alexis Bissell will bat at the top of the order, singling in her last at-bat in the second inning. Through 2, she had their lone run. It was a run driven in by an RBI single by Autumn Surter back in the first inning after she walked from the leadoff spot in inning number 1. Here in the 4th, she takes the pitch outside. The count 1-0 for Alexis Bissell. 3 hits for the Cardinal Comets today. 3 runs, a couple driven in with RBIs from Surter and Malin Hickenbottom. And Bissell has a 2-0 count. She's ahead of Weitzel here at Hy-Vee Field on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, streaming online on YouTube, and watch IGHSAU.com from the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex. 5 games in all classes today, getting through 25 games here at the state tournament. And tomorrow we'll see 3 to 5 games depending on how everything shakes out. 3 guaranteed, could play 4, could play 5 on each field. We'll see how they shake out. But this one we know either Cardinal or Grandview Christian will get to Wednesday. The other will not. They'll be the third 2A team eliminated today. Bissell, back-to-back strikes, including a foul. She'll ground this one past the second baseman, but she is able to dance to her left, scoop it out of the turf, or from the grass, right at the edge of the grass. And the dirt there, and Bissell grounds out 4-3. 2 outs.
At any point in games like this, if you're Cardinal, you're down 3 runs. You know this game is do or die here. Most batters are going up to the plate, and a little piece of their mind will think, okay, if I home run right here, we'll only be down by 1. If I home run later, we'll only be down by this much. And that is when people strike out. They swing and miss with those power swings. The Cardinal right now needs to be looking for contact and base runners, and that is what's going to help dig them out of this hole. A home run would be nice, and they would only be down by 1, but it's that mentality that gets them swinging and missing on big whiffs.
Foul ball behind the catcher. Summer LaRue batting. 2 outs, a runner is at second. They've got 1 in scoring position. They have left 3 in scoring position today, a couple in the first inning, and they've got 1 on right now, so if they don't get home, that would be the 3rd left on today. LaRue will take the pitch, the 1-1 outside, and our count runs to 2-1. 2 outs, 6-3, Grandview Christian. The Thunder have outscored Cardinal this year on average, just under 9 runs per game to about 4.5. Basically a 2-to-1 ratio, and that's where we sit right now at 6-3, with LaRue fouling another one away, and the count evens up 2-2 to match her jersey number. The shortstop struck out in the first and grounded into a 3rd out at third base in her other at-bat, and this is a line shot, fouled over toward third base. That one was ripped. Count remains 2-2.
Aimed straight at the coach. Really heads up ducking there from the third base coach. Very impressive instincts. Unfortunately, does not matter when she is not in the playing field.
Hannah Simpson, the head coach for Cardinal, in her first year as head coach. She's from Fairfield, graduated from Fairfield, went to the state tournament in 2020 there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Summer LaRue swings and strikes out. That'll be Weitzel's 5th K of the day, and all 5 were swinging for the 3rd strike. We are through the top of the 4th. It's a 6-3 game. Grandview Christian leading by 3. Back in a moment on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy in this 2A elimination game.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Looks like another perfect day to get out there and enjoy the summer.
Oh, before she gets in the car, it's easy to choose.
Iowa State Fair, August 13th through the 23rd.
Live from Hy-Vee Field in Fort Dodge, one of 5 fields playing here at the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex. Each field gets a class through tomorrow, and then championship Thursday and Friday. They'll move on to the original 2 fields to our west here at the Sports Complex, named for Harlan and Hazel Rogers. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 6-3, Grandview Christian, and leading things off will be the number 2 hitter, Maya Murphy. 0 for 2 today. The only Thunder hitter without a hit They've got 9 hits from 8 batters. Chloe Cox has a couple hits. Everybody else has 1. Maya Murphy looking to join the party. And she might do it here with a blooper towards second, but a nice grab. Running backwards to the grass, Braylee Sparks with a nice grab, and maybe that can spark the defense.
That was a great reaction from her for that catch. Doesn't look like she thought she was going to catch that. I don't think she had any eyes on the ball, catching it behind her head. That was really impressive and a great way to get a defensive rally going.
So Murphy remains hitless thanks to Sparks, and it's Sophie Bird with a single and a walk today, 2 runs scored. She and Chloe Cox here in the 3-4 slots, both with 2 runs. Cruz and Vandersloot each have 1 apiece to get to 6 for that 6-3 lead. Bottom of the 4th, Grandview Christian over Cardinal. And that's a rip to left. Fly ball. Does that have a chance at the fence? It's off the fence near Malin Hickenbottom. And the throw down to third, sliding in, safe. Triple for Sophie Bird.
Right after I asked, is it enough to get a defensive rally going? A beautiful triple from Grandview Christian. Looked like it might have had a chance, like you said, off the fence. The movement of that ball was exactly what you want. Perfect placement. Always a little bit of a surprise to see a triple hit to left field just because of how close the ball then is to the runner at the end of the play. But that was just beautifully executed.
Sophie Bird with the triple, a Channel Seeds extra base hit. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Today for Sophie Bird, 2 hits in this one, 2 hits earlier today against Hinton. It took 2 games, but she's completed the cycle, and that triple completed it. Here's another one off the fence as Chloe Cox will drive home Sophie Bird. Couple doubles for her today. Make it 3. A triple and a double. They go back-to-back. Bird brings home the 7th run as she crosses home plate thanks to Chloe. And it's now a 7-3 lead. Another Channel Seeds extra base hit. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Those two have proven to be a dangerous combination back-to-back.
In all the games I've called so far this tournament, something I've talked about so much has been small ball. It's been the bunts and the slaps and singles and just getting base runners. For Grandview Christian, the long ball is working. A triple and a double there. A well-hit ball here as well.
And that will drive one more home unless this throw gets there. It won't. Harper Rosado with the RBI single. She gets over to second in the meantime as they try to throw Chloe Cox out at home. So they get a triple, a double, and a single from Bird, Cox, and Rosado. 2 runs in. And now Grace Cruz, bottom of the 4th inning, a 5-run lead for Grandview Christian. And with 1 out, Chloe Cox out at home. So they get a triple, a double, and a single from Bird, Cox, and Rosado. 2 runs in. And now Grace Cruz, bottom of the 4th inning, a 5-run lead for Grandview Christian. And with 1 out, trying to keep the bats going, McLean Hickenbottom. She's been doing all. We return to Hy-Vee Field for this 2A elimination game, Game 5 on this Tuesday of the state tournament, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy alongside Abby Altman. I'm Nick Brinks, and we go to the 5th. It's a 5-run deficit now for the Cardinal Comets, with McLean Hickenbottom leading things off. Scored a run 2 innings ago. And she'll swing for the fences. And an 0-1 count for the junior, one of 3 Hickenbottom sisters on this Comet team. Sophia Brown, Autumn Serther are the next couple hitters for the Cardinal Comets. And the 0-1's on the way, and that's downstairs here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, we've definitely seen the ability to come out of a 5-run deficit from Cardinal and from other teams this tournament. But Cardinal has been at a bit of a standstill lately in this game. They got 2 runs off of an error and an interesting play in the third. And aside from that, they haven't scored since the first inning. It's going to take a lot of offensive momentum to get back in this game.
And now into the fifth, trailing by 5. The Thunder Bats have been working overtime. 4 runs in the first, a couple runs in the second, a couple in the fourth. And now if you're Cardinal, you can't just rely on the fact that this one will go 7 innings for sure. Grandview Christian, they've shown that they can easily rattle off 2 or 3 runs in an inning. And there's a looking strike 3 on the payoff pitch to McLean Hickenbottom. Weitzel gets her 6th strikeout of the night. And Sophia Brown is up next, 0 for 2 for the sophomore third baseman.
Yeah, with now 1 out here, you're going to want to look at getting a base runner. Maybe not some big, powerful hits, but if it's being decisive in the zone, getting a walk, something like that, using what you can to your advantage to start decreasing this deficit.
8-3 Grandview Christian, top of the 5th inning. Cardinal Comets batting now. 17-11 on the year. Grandview Christian 28-4. Winner today moves on to tomorrow to face Iowa City Regina 12-15. Loser finishes this 2026 state tournament with a 1-2 record, and they'll look forward to 2027. 1 ball and 1 strike as this pitch misses well outside to Sophia Brown with a strikeout and a fly out to Morgan Pelham in center field in her 2 plate appearances today. And now Harper Rosado runs off to the dugout. Quick chat. And she's back on her way behind home plate.
Successful trip to the dugout.
Count is 1-1 with 1 out. They get the leadoff strikeout to Hickenbottom. Which one? McLean. And here's Sophia Brown. Pops one out towards shortstop. Livy Vandersloot chases it to the grass. Makes the easy grab. We have seen at times today that grab has not been easy, but that one looked easy and she finished it off.
Yeah, the sun is completely gone. That is safe to say.
Wind appears to have died down a little bit. We don't have as good of a look as at the American flag beyond the right field foul pole, but it does look like it's just kind of dancing. It was sticking straight out most of the day.
Yeah, it's a much calmer environment than we've seen earlier today, especially than we saw yesterday. It was hot and sticky and windy. This is still a beautiful night for softball now. We've made it officially to the evening, past 9 p.m. here.
The 1-0. In for a strike for Autumn Surter. Cardinal with 6 home runs this year. She's got 1 of them, batting .282 for the season. She's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. That came on an RBI single in the first inning to bring home Alexis Bissell. A leadoff walk. A 1-0 lead through half an inning for Cardinal. It's been Grandview Christian's game since. They scored 4 in the bottom of the first and have outscored Cardinal 4-2 since that moment to get to 8-3. We're here in the top of the 5th here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, and the pitch misses 3-1 the count. So a very busy Tuesday, 5 games in each class. Final games going on right now, and a strike to fill the count for Surter from Weitzel, who has struck out 6 and walked 5 today, giving up 3 hits. She's looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning from the circle, and it's Surter popping one up, staying alive as that one rolls down the net, covering the bleachers right behind home plate here at Hy-Vee Field.
We've said it throughout the game. We've seen lots of comebacks. There's lots of game left. We've said that a few times. Pretty soon, you're getting to the end of the game. You're in a 5-run deficit, and there won't be a lot of time left to start building up these runs.
Surter on with the walk, the payoff pitch outside. And she'll take a base, and that brings us to Malin Hickenbottom. There was an error in there, and I scored it as just a single. But for all intents and purposes, an inside-the-park home run earlier. It was not scored that way, but she did not have to stop as Grandview Christian had some questionable fielding. There was an error in there as she was able to drive home McLean Hickenbottom. She did get credit for the RBI. That seemed fair. But, yeah, took advantage of the error and also came around and scored off a single. Not too shabby. Hickenbottom just said, I'll keep on running if you'll keep throwing it around. And she got there, and she's got a quick 2-0 count.
Yeah, I mentioned very early on this game that if Grandview Christian pulls away with a win, a large part of that will be their base running. That was a great example. They were aware the ball was not in the infield, so she kept going. That's not as easy to be aware of as it seems. Running the bases, you're not facing that way.
A throw down to first, trying to catch Surter sleeping, but she's awake enough. It is getting late, but not quite that late. I might be caught sleeping if I was out there. It's been a long day. Been at the park here since 8:30 this morning. Called a 10:30 game on the radio. 2 2A games this afternoon and evening with you, Abby. And we've got a walk, back-to-back walks for Malin Hickenbottom. Surter to second. 2 outs, 2 on. Maverick Hickenbottom, the 8th grader, the DP, is coming up next. A fly out and a ground out today.
Exactly what you want if you're Cardinal. However, they're getting on base. They have 2 base runners now, 2 outs, but this is the best opportunity we've seen for Cardinal in several innings now to start breaking down this lead.
5 runs the deficit. The Thunder have walked the last 2 batters, so they are chatting things over with their coach, Krista DeMolinaire. They were the Heart of Iowa champions this year, as the Cardinal base runners are having fun out there. They meet up and do a chest bump and take their bases respectively. Hickenbottom at first, Surter at second, and they'll break their little huddle, as do the Thunder. And the bottom of the order has combined to go 0 for 4 today. Maverick Hickenbottom 0 for 2. Colby Sainer 0 for 2. Bristol Albert a couple walks. This is Maverick Hickenbottom, the DP for the Cardinal Comets. And she takes a looking strike on the 3-0.
In situations like this, you have base runners, you're down by 5 runs. You need to be aggressive on the bases, but you cannot lose your last out because of a base running error.
Aggressive, but not too aggressive is what I'm hearing.
Exactly. Just find that one sweet middle spot. Aggressive, but smart.
8-3, Grandview Christian with the lead. Cardinal got the win in this matchup yesterday, the 8 over the 1. Any other year, Grandview Christian would have been done. The 8 seed gets the Cinderella story, the upset win in the first round. But with this new double elimination format, 1 loss on Monday does not do you in. Certainly makes the path to a championship much tougher. You can win a championship by going 4-0 this week. If you lose a game, you might have to go 5-1. 2 full extra games, perhaps. And that's what Grandview Christian is hoping for as the top seed in 2A. The 5-run lead, top of the 5th. Cardinal trying to walk their way onto the base paths here. A couple walks, and now Maverick Hickenbottom gets the payoff pitch here in a moment. 6 strikeouts, 7 walks. And here it comes from Epperly Weitzel, the 8th grader. It's a walk. 3 straight walk. That one outside. And must not have been a payoff pitch. 1-2. Looked up at the scoreboard. I saw 3-2, but it must not have been 3-2. Little pause there. So it was a pretend payoff. Now the 1-2. There's the looking strike. 7 strikeouts for Weitzel, a big one there. They will leave a couple base runners stranded, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Score remains 8-3 in favor of Grandview Christian, bottom of the 5th. Coming your way next on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy in this 2A elimination game.
Life's buzzing with energy, from the delightfully routine to the novel and exciting to the truly uncharted. With all that life brings, it's easy to lose track of what powers all those moments, our health. At Mercy One, our caring doctors focus on just that, powering health, from the everyday to the extraordinary. So you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Morgan Pelham, Jada Rogers, and Livy Vandersloot are the three hitters due up for the Grandview Christian Thunder. They lead by 5. We are at the bottom of the 5th. So mercy rules could apply if they score 3 runs. Cardinals pitch from McLean Hickenbottom. Misses for a ball. And you know Grandview Christian would love to cut this one short in the losers bracket. As we just mentioned a little bit ago, you can't go 4-0 from the losers bracket. If you can cut a few innings here, a few innings there, and shorten things up for your pitchers later on in the week, as in tomorrow, 2 more games perhaps. And they get a good start here with a leadoff single to left by Morgan Pelham, her second hit of the day. And she is now one of 4 Thunder batters with multiple hits.
Yeah, Grandview Christian has a fairly commanding lead, but Cardinal has not been letting them have it easily. These have not been short innings.
Bunt to first. It gets past the second baseman covering, Braley Sparks. That will get around over to third. Runners on the corners. Rogers will reach on the error. She was going to be thrown out if that one was fielded cleanly. So I'm going to mark that down as technically the sacrifice bunt first. So I guess we could take the error off that way. Or maybe, I don't know. Do you give it the sacrifice bunt and the error? That's the question. It's late in the day. Brain's not 100%, but we'll see how they score it. 13 hits as of right now is Pelham singled. Jada Rogers is at first. We've got runners on the corners, and now Rogers moves off to second.
The common play there, you've got runners on the corners. When the first base, most likely the runner heads to second base, throwing from the catcher to the shortstop, trying to get that runner on third to head home. Very common play in runners on the corner situations. Didn't work here. That runner did not flinch.
So at the top of the order, it's Livy Vandersloot. No home runs for her this year in the top of the order. A 5-run lead, a home run now. Could end it in 5, but again, more of a small ball player. Just a couple doubles for her this year. 53 hits. She gets on a lot. 51 singles for the year. And I did see that they gave her the sacrifice bunt and the error for Jada Rogers, so that matches what I was kind of thinking in my head. Here comes the 2-1, and there's a bunt. It'll score a run. She'll be thrown out at first. They get that out this time, and they get a couple sacrifice bunts to move runners down and 1 to score. That's Pelham scoring from third. Jada Rogers now to third.
Yeah, when you're working with no outs in a situation like that, you've got runner at second and third. That's exactly what you want to do. Just get the ball down. Avoid any sort of doubled up line drive situation. Just get the ball down and get the run across.
It's Maya Murphy now. She knocks one off to third, and the throw home is not going to be there. I think they had the timing, but Jada Rogers will come home and score. That throw was just a little bit to the right of where it needed to be, I think, as Murphy and the Thunder have a 11-3 lead now. No, just a 10-3 lead.
Yeah, exactly what you were saying on that throw. They had it there. It was just how much she had to turn to put the tag on that allowed that run to cross safely.
But now one more run would do it, as it is 10-3. They've gotten a couple runs across here. Scoreboard has an extra run up there for now. If they do actually get to 11, it would be done here in the 5th inning. So they get that squared away, and now it's Sophie Bird batting here in the 3 slot. And popped up towards center field. And the second baseman, Braylee Sparks, will come away with the catch.
Another really similar catch from Braylee Sparks, like the one we saw earlier in this game over her head. She's making those plays.
And actually, that will be the third out. So Maya Murphy, I was thinking she singled, but she must not have, and that'll be 3 outs here. Okay, so they were able to get the throw down. So we have a 10-3 game. We go to the 6th inning.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
.3 is your score. Grandview Christian's got the lead on a 13-hit night for the Thunder. 3 hits for Cardinal. Cardinal sent Grandview to the losers bracket yesterday in game 1 of this 2A state tournament, but Grandview Christian is coming for revenge here in this one. The bats are working. Good pitching. Just a complete effort here from the Thunder as they have Cardinals' season on the ropes. Here in the top of the 6th inning, 1 run away for Grandview Christian from ending this one an inning early, perhaps. But Cardinal, with the 8-9-1 hitters, will try to give them a little bit more of a cushion, trailing by 7 right now. If they could get that down to 5 or 6 maybe, they could force this one more reliably to 7. A strike on the 1-0. Colby Sainer 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout. And a 1-1 count. You win today, you face Iowa City Regina at 12:15 tomorrow. Regina can win 1 game, they're off to the championship game. If Regina loses twice, whoever beats them twice from this matchup here would be your championship contender from the top half of this 2A bracket. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch from Sainer. Grounded toward first base. Now she'll cover it herself. That's Chloe Cox on the ground out to first by Sainer.
Yeah, just a slight chip on that one. Probably hoping it swung a little bit foul. She can redo that swing, but that's the first out. Cardinal really looking for a last breath to keep this game going.
Bottom of the order, Bristol Albert. She's been on twice tonight with walks. And then Alexis Bissell is up next. 1 out, swinging, fouled it away, nicked it into the net behind home plate, the right fielder, Albert. 1 for 3 earlier today. 7 hits on the season. Hasn't been used a ton as a batter until late here in the season. And now the 0-1's coming. That's in the dirt from the 8th grader, Epperly Weitzel. This one was scheduled for about 7 o'clock, but as the 2A games today have kind of progressively pushed things back, we started at 7:40. We're about an hour 40 into the matchup now. Bristol Albert with 1 out, nicks another one into the fence. Count is 1-2.
Yeah, throughout this game, we kept saying Cardinal can absolutely get back into this game. It is very late now. They're going to need some of the best rallies we've seen from them all season if they want a chance at this game in the next inning or 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Albert. As the 8th grader, Epperly Weitzel, has pitched nicely today. 7 strikeouts, make it 8. A swinging strike 3 for the second out. Bristol Albert goes down, and for the first time today, she doesn't walk. To the top of the order go the Cardinal Comets. They really missed out on the opportunity to call themselves the Cardinal Cardinals, but I'm not the one in charge.
I have to tell you, I've been thinking about that since I arrived here yesterday, but I'm happy they stuck with the alliteration of the Cardinal Comets.
If only it was like John Johnson in charge of naming team mascots. He would have for sure taken care of business there. Here's Alexis Bissell with a walk and a single and a ground out today. 1 for 2 and a run. 2 outs. And Cardinal has no guarantee that they'll see a top of the 7th as Grandview Christian has a 7-run lead, 1 run in the bottom of this inning. And it could be an 11-3 final. But they have held on. They've gotten it to 6 here. Grandview Christian just stretching it out as the game goes on with back-to-back 2-run innings since that 6-3 score after 3. The 2-0 pitch across the plate. Bissell takes a 2-1 count after the strike. So Cardinal looking at perhaps their final out. If their defense and their pitching can hold and force a 7th inning, they could get 3 more chances. But Grandview Christian's only had 1 scoreless inning today. That was the 3rd. 2 straight 2-run innings, another 2-run inning, and a 4-run inning. And here's a walk. So Bissell gets on. And it comes down to Summer LaRue now.
In this situation, you've got a base runner. You've been looking for that for a little while, but you've got 2 outs. We've seen a lot of strategies with the small ball, sacrifice bunts and sacrifice base hits. And those have worked to score runs for Grandview Christian, but Cardinal has 2 outs right now, and they need quite a few runs. They have to piece together some big hits here.
They've been playing the underdog role throughout regional play. They knocked off a top 5 team to get to state I-35. They knocked off Grandview Christian yesterday to move on in the winner's bracket. But we're not quite sure the slipper will fit today. Ground ball to short, throw to first, and it's 10-3. So now the defense for Cardinal must force a scoreless inning to get another chance to bat. Summer LaRue goes down on the 6-3 put out, and we are through the top half of the 6th. It's 10-3, Thunder of Grandview Christian leading the Comets of Cardinal. We're back in a moment on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Ready? Let's go.
Mom, over here. Yeah, this kind of thing can happen when you're hiking, but no worries, Mom. I can prescribe something to soothe the itch.
Unity Point Health looks at your family's health from your point of view, offering same-day appointments with expertise focused on what matters most to you. Unity Point Health, expert care focused on you.
Grandview Christian and Cardinal squaring off for the second time in as many days. Yesterday was the opening round of this 2A double elimination tournament. Today it's an elimination game, and Grandview Christian looking to bounce back from yesterday, a chance to go 2-1 and move on to tomorrow's, we'll call it a semifinal with Iowa City Regina. They would have to play twice. Grandview Christian would have to beat Regina twice to get to the championship, whereas Regina can win that first one and punch their ticket to a championship. That 2A championship game scheduled for 5 o'clock on Thursday, late in the afternoon. And the first pitch to Chloe Cox. They just need 1 run here in the bottom of the 6th, and they can win this one with an 8-run advantage. 11-3 is what they're looking for. Cardinal trying to prevent that and give their team one last gasp at the bat. Chloe Cox, Harper Rosado, and Grace Cruz fouled away here by Chloe Cox. 5 home runs on the season. 1 for 3 earlier today with a single, also a walk. And then here in this one, 3 RBI doubles and 3 runs scored. She has been, if nothing else, super consistent. And she takes this one low for a 2-1 count.
And you can't really ask for much more. She's doing exactly what you need from her. Maybe not home run after home run after home run, but she's getting on base, she's being consistent, and she's being productive with her at-bats.
Swings away for a second strike. Count is 2-2. Came in with 10 doubles on the season. She's added 3 here in this one game. Unfortunately for her, she cannot get an RBI double here as she is the leadoff hitter. She could get either the RBI with a home run or the double, but not both. So the streak will come to an end. And she fouls this one away. The count is 2-2. Grandview Christian 10, Cardinal 3. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning. Chloe Cox and the Thunder, and she sends this one on a rocket to the Hy-Vee field sign. It's a walk-off. Skip the double. She gets the RBI. A solo shot for Chloe Cox. Homer number 6 on the season. And what a way to put a stamp on this victory to move on to tomorrow, and they'll get to face Iowa City Regina at 12:15. They took the roundabout way, but it will be the 1-4 matchup in that semifinal as the Thunder win this one 11-3.
Yeah, I said you couldn't ask for much more from her. Turns out you can, and she will deliver a walk-off home run against Cardinal, who had such a great story, beating them in the opening round, really giving both of these teams a great challenge, and now they have the chance to continue to prove themselves.
So the Grandview Christian Thunder in their first trip to the state tournament in softball, they're moving on to the semifinal round. Again, as we've mentioned a few times, they'll face Iowa City Regina 12:15 tomorrow. Regina can win once and it's over. Regina to the championship. Grandview Christian, they could win twice over Regina and win their way to the Thursday evening championship. So congratulations to Grandview Christian and Cardinal, that fantastic season, this late season surge, upset after upset. Their season will come to an end. And what a day for Chloe Cox. She finishes 4 for 4 with 4 runs, 4 RBIs, 3 doubles, the home run to walk it off and finish this one in 6 innings. All in a day's work for the sophomore.
Yeah, Chloe Cox, no doubt about it that she would be the person putting their team name advancing on the bracket. The walk-off, just a beautiful day from Chloe Cox. But the Cardinals absolutely should be proud of what they've done in this state tournament. They had a really exciting regional bracket to make it for the first time in 21 years. As the 8th seed, they came in, beat the 1 seed. They lost the next game, and then a great battle in that last game, and then they fought hard today once again against the 1 seed. It is a tall ask to have the 8 seed take down the 1 seed back-to-back days, so they should be proud of everything they did here.
Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why they are proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing girls state softball tournament. They believe that by investing in our youth, we're investing in Iowa's future. Abby Altman, it's been a pleasure calling some games with you here this week. Sounds like you're headed back home and can enjoy, as a spectator, maybe watching tomorrow on the Girls Union Network. Final thoughts from this and a couple fun days here at Harlan Rogers Sports Complex.
Absolutely. The 2A bracket has been such a good one. This, one of the biggest gaps we've seen in a game so far. Grandview Christian, maybe a bit of a bloop in game 1. They're looking like very strong contenders here in this bracket as they head on back, going for that championship title.
An 11-3 win in 6 innings for the Grandview Christian Thunder. They move to 29-4. Cardinals season ends 17-12, their final record. The state tournament is presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.